To Hello, welcome back. We are today going to give you the feedback on the assignment for Module 2, which of course was dedicated to the theme of incrementality. And looking at the material that you have uploaded on SketchDrive, we were quite amazed to see how many different instances of incrementality we can find around the world. Of course, maybe we could make a big distinction between those images that show cases in which the incremental growth was planned or was supposed to happen by the architects when they designed it, or when architects actually designed a housing building and not planned to be incremental, but that incremental growth happened. So we have interesting cases of these two variants. But of course, most of what we see on SketchDrive, and actually probably most of what we see in the world, is processes where this phenomenon of incremental growth happen spontaneously without having no one, let's say, to define the technical characteristics of how this should happen. So some of these examples can be challenging. Some others are quite amazing examples of how incremental growth can happen and make our dwelling communities lively. So Frederick will just take you through some of those examples, which we appreciate very much that you took the trouble of walking outside and mapping them. Thank you. Frederick.
Yeah, hi, this is Frederick again. We selected 5 projects to illustrate to you the examples. Nelson, can you share your screen? Yeah, this is an example uploaded by Vidya. It's a hilltop village in India called Mussoorie. And this is an example of actually a village that started with 1 or sometimes 2-story houses, but it grew vertically, spontaneously. And it was not regulated at all. So this causes a lot of safety problems. It's also in an earthquake area. So this is a typical example of a totally unplanned incremental scheme or housing area. Next one. This is a project uploaded by Vasily. It's in Chisinau, Moldavia. And this is really almost a funny example. These are designed apartment blocks, but then the upper neighbors started to extend. And this is an example of how, also unplanned extensions can cause problems because space is occupied and the downstairs neighbors are the losers in this case. So this is also an example of, when there's non-regulated, unplanned extensions taking place. This is something I think we don't strive for. Next one. This is a project uploaded by Diego. It's workers' housing in Lima, Peru. This is a typical example of perfectly planned housing. But then over the years, extensions took place. But the problems were less dramatic because these are individual plots. So all the extensions only have an individual aspect and they don't interfere with the neighbors. So some people just made an extension on the roof or maybe in the front garden, but nobody has to negotiate with the neighbors about it. So that is different from the Moldavian example. The next one. Well, this is an example from Groningen, uploaded by Julia. This is typical Dutch. We call it the dakkapel or the dormer, maybe in English. And here you can see that there's a balance between what is regulated and what is not regulated. And everybody can ask for a permit to build this dakkapel. And they can have different forms, but still the street facade is very regulated and there are no strange extensions which cause problems with neighbors or the street. But this is more regulated. Next one. And this is a project from Colombia uploaded by Karen. And here actually the architect planned incrementality. And nice to see is that, or nice, here you can see that people don't always listen to what the architect intended to do. So the project was meant to grow, but it grew in a different way than the architect wanted to happen. And I think Rowan will conclude his this feedback with how the architect Dashi learned from incremental practices in India. So the floor is yours, Rowan.
Yeah, thanks, Frederic. Hi, this is Rowan. And yeah, we hope you obviously enjoyed this week's module. And for the ones who did go through all the videos, you would remember that in the lecture, we spoke about how Doshi actually based his designs for Aranya on the study of, let's say, unplanned or illegal settlements in the city of Indore. And he did this study along with the McGill School of Architecture in Canada, and they produced a series of books called How the Other Half Builds. So this was really just to show how you can actually learn from the everyday, and you can learn from the dwelling environments around you, and then produce a housing scheme that's not only allowing for growth and change, but is more responsive to people's needs and aspirations. So that's what this week was all about. We hope you enjoyed it. And of course, we're going to be meeting you again like this every week. So we look forward to seeing more submissions, more participation on the platform, and we will see you again in 1 week's time. But for now, thank you so much and goodbye.
Thank you. See you next week.
Bye-bye. Thank you.